Hey Sparkle Squad, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jasmine and welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to do a single flip in figure skating. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so before we get started with how to do a single flip, I wanted to let you guys know that before we get started with single flip, the required jump that you're going to need to have is a loop jump, because loop is the base for loop, flip, and lutz, obviously, so those three jumps are going to need a loop. So before starting with flip, I want to make sure that all you guys have a nice, solid, stable, single loop that you guys feel comfortable with. If you guys don't have a single loop, I already made a tutorial on how to do one, so before starting flip, I recommend going watching that video, so I'm going to leave it down below in the description box. Alright guys, so first I'm going to go over the different entries that you can do into your single flip. So first we have a 3-turn into our single flip, so all that looks like is we're going to do 3-turn, and then flip. Then we also have a mohawk. So mohawk looks like this, it's mohawk, flip. And then finally the one that's the most advanced that I only recommend doing once you're more comfortable with your single flip is a back 3 mohawk. So it's basically a combination of both. So what you're going to do is you're going to do back 3, mohawk, flip. So those are the 3 different ways that you can go into your flip, and I recommend choosing the one that you feel most comfortable with and sticking with that one the entire time while you're learning your flip, because you don't want to switch entries because that's going to make it really confusing. Alright guys, so before we get started with the jump, we're going to come over to the wall so that we can work on our leg motion. So after we do our entry, whichever one we choose, once we pick our foot into the ice, we're going to work on this leg. So for me, I have my right leg picked into the ice because I'm a righty, but if you're a lefty, you're going to be jumping the opposite way and going to have your left foot picked into the ice. So basically, you're just going to switch it around. So I have my toe pick picked into the ice right behind me. You don't want to pick it right here, and you also don't want to pick it out to the side, because if you pick it here, then you're not going to be able to jump because it's not natural. And if you pick it here, you're going to jump like this and you're going to be all tilted in the air. We don't want that to happen. So it's obviously not going to be perfectly straight behind you, but you want to try your best to get it as close as you can to straight. So once we have this, the foot that is in front of us is going to be slightly bent that we're standing on. And also when we pick for our flip, so when I go and do it, I'm not actually going to pick with a straight leg and jump off of a straight leg. So when I pick, my leg is going to slightly bend. So both knees are going to be bent. So it's going to look like this, and both are bent. So once we're in this position, we're going to take this foot that's in front of us and we're going to work on just gliding it here. So right before we take off, this foot is actually going to glide on an inside edge, and this is what makes it different from lutz. So it's going to be gliding on an inside edge, and then it's going to flick. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to try and show you guys. But when you're gliding, it's gliding here, inside edge, and then it's going to flick up, and you're going to kind of make like I don't know how to explain it, but this is what's going to help you get your distance and your air. So it's going to go here, inside edge, and up. So we're going to work on that motion where we go here, pick, and up. And you're going to kind of make like an H with your front knee like this. So our toe pick is going to be aligned with our knee, just like this, and it's going to be a straight line. And it's going to look like we're making an H shape. So we're going to work on this motion until we're comfortable with it, because this is what we're going to be needing when we do our flip. Alright, so before starting a full flip, I assume that most of you guys already know how to do a half flip, so we're going to warm up our half flip. So we're going to do whatever entry we want. I really like doing 3 turns because they help a lot with getting that momentum going into it, because a mohawk checks it a lot, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult to jump. And the thing with 3 turns is that it's really important to make sure that you don't swing it, so you have to be really controlled if you decide to go with the 3-turn option. But I'm just going to show you guys with the 3-turn, because that's usually what I do for all of my flips. So we're going to go here, 3-turn, and once we pick, we're going to be right here. This foot is going to slide through, so you see that both my feet are kind of right next to each other, and this foot is on a slight inside edge, and then we're going to pick our knee up and we're going to jump forwards, and we're going to go into a landing position gliding forwards. So basically we're only going to be doing half a rotation in the air. So we're going to go 3 turn, pick, slide, jump, and land. And we're going to work on this until we get comfortable with doing that half flip motion, and then we're going to slowly start to add more rotation to it. Okay, so I'm actually going to quickly go over our arms before we get into doing more rotation. So when we're doing a flip, whatever takeoff we do, we're always going to have our arm, or for me, since I'm a righty, I'm going to have my right arm in front of me. So even when I do my 3 turn, everything, I'm starting off with my right arm in front. So obviously if you're a lefty and you're doing your takeoff, you're going to start with your left arm in front, just like that. So we're going to have our arm in front of us, and we're going to be switching our arms. So our arms are going to go here, and they're just going to stay open basically. So we're not focusing on moving our arms, but as we do the turn, our arms are going to stay open, just like that. So once we're right here, we're going to go into our nice position with our arm in front, and after we do our takeoff, we're going to switch our arms and we're going to pick. So now, after I did my 3 turn, and while I'm picking, my left arm is in front of me and my right arm is behind me. So my arms are always open that way towards the other side of me. But what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this arm actually down, and this arm is going to come, so both arms are going to come down just like this. So they're going to come down and they're going to open basically. So we're here, down, and as we're jumping forwards, our arms are going to be open again. And this is the only time that we switch our arms basically. So if I'm open towards this way, I'm going to switch my arms and I'm going to bring them around. And this arm is actually going to help lead us up into the air, and it's going to help us get that speed and rotation and height. So it's going to pull us up into the air. So we're going to go here. And then once we're here, once we're in the air, we're going to bring our arms in, and then we're just going to land just like that. So let me show you guys what that looks like once we do it full speed. And that's what we're going to be doing with our arms the entire time. Switch, through, in, and out. And even without the jump, we're just going to work on that hand motion or arm motion so that we get comfortable with doing that, and it's going to kind of become muscle memory, and we don't have to focus on it while we're doing the jump, and it's going to make it a lot easier. Alright, so now what we're going to do, since we've already done our half flip, we're going to try and do a full rotation off of this takeoff. So instead of landing automatically on 1 foot, we're going to start by landing on 2 feet just so that we can get that rotation working and make it a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to push, do our takeoff. When we pick, we're going to go through again, and it's going to be just like how we did our half flip. So instead of just rotating and landing forward, what we're going to do is we're going to try our best to rotate it as far as we can. Even if you can't automatically do it the full rotation, we're just going to try our best and go as far as we can and slowly keep working on it until we can finally do that full rotation. So we're going to go here, and we're going to pick, and we're going to basically land facing backwards. So we're going to be facing the same direction as we picked. So if we pick here, we're going to go up, rotate, and we're going to land. And when we land, I want you guys to land with both arms in front of you. So this is going to help you really focus on making sure that you're getting your arms in while you're doing your rotation. So we're going to go here, take off, pick, full rotation, and we're going to land on 2 feet with our arms still in. And then after this, what we're going to do is we're going to push out and push into our landing position. And we're going to work on that until we get comfortable and we're able to do that full rotation consistently. Alright guys, so now once we get that full rotation consistent, we're going to try it starting to land on 1 foot. So if you can't do it first try, don't worry, because it's a really difficult process, but if you keep working on it and you keep doing it, then you're definitely going to get it pretty quickly. So again, landing on 1 foot is the same as we've been doing for all of our other jumps, and if you can do your waltz jump, toe loop, sow cow, single loop, anything like that, then you guys can do this one as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go here, we're going to be doing everything exactly like what we were doing before. We're going to go up, rotate our one rotation, and then we're going to land on 1 foot, and then we're going to check out. So let me show you guys what that is going to look like when we do it with speed. So we're going to push, and we're going to pick one rotation, and we're going to try and land on one foot. If you can't land on one foot and hold it, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to push here, one rotation, and land on one foot, and then you can put your other foot down. You want to make sure that you don't do this too much though, because it might become a bad habit and it might make you start to two-foot your jumps, which we don't want. But in the beginning, it's easier and it's going to make you more comfortable with getting that one foot on the landing. So what we're going to do is we're going to push, and we're going to just try and land on one foot, and we're going to land with our arms nice and open, just like this, in a nice landing position. And we're going to work on that until we get comfortable with doing our flip jump. Alright guys, so now once we have our single flip from basically standstill, what we're going to do is we're slowly going to start to add speed to it. So you don't want to go flying into it automatically. You want to just slowly go in increments and slowly add more speed as you go and as you get more comfortable with it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly add speed, and we're going to work on our flip doing speed, and it's also going to make it a little bit easier for us. It's going to give us more momentum, so it might be a little bit scary at first, but I believe in all of you guys and you got this. So I'm going to show you guys what it should look like once you get more speed. Alright guys, so this is the end of the video, and I hope that it helped you guys get your single flip in figure skating. And if you guys have any other tutorials that you want me to do, leave those in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to do those for you guys, because these videos are a lot of fun for me to make, and I love teaching you guys more about figure skating. But yeah, this is the end of the video, and I hope that it helped you guys with your flip, and if you already had a flip, it helped you guys improve your flip. But I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye!